Hey, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss this story. I never thought I'd let it go this far. Sitting in the dim glow of my apartment, I stare at the text blinking on my phone. Tonight? I can't wait. My thumb hovered over the screen, hesitation twisting my stomach into knots. Outside, the city hummed with life, but inside, time felt suspended, heavy with choices I shouldn't have made. I'd been married to Daniel for 7 years. We had routines, shared jokes, quiet breakfasts on lazy Sundays. But over the last year, something between us had frayed. I couldn't even name it. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe silence, maybe the way his eyes no longer searched for me. And then there was him, Liam, who slipped into my life like a whisper at 2 a.m., all charm and danger, making me feel alive in ways I'd forgotten. The smell of rain-soaked asphalt seeped through the slightly open window. I could hear the distant wail of a siren, a taxi's brakes, the low hum of neon lights from the street below. Liam's messages kept coming. "I need you. Don't make me wait." My chest tightened, guilt gnawing at me, but excitement made my pulse race. Tonight, I'd told myself, I'd end it. No more secret meetings. No more stolen mornings. I wanted my marriage back. Wanted Daniel to look at me like he used to, without suspicion clouding the light in his eyes. I placed my phone on the coffee table and exhaled slowly. The apartment smelled faintly of coffee and vanilla candles, a comfort I didn't deserve. My fingers traced the rim of the mug, my mind racing with rehearsed excuses and apologies I hadn't spoken aloud. I could almost hear Daniel in the next room, humming to himself, unaware of the storm brewing just a wall away. I unlocked the door to leave, intending to meet Liam one last time, when I froze. The sound of a key turning in our lock. "Daniel," his voice followed, calm but curious. "Hey, you're home early." My heart stopped. I turned slowly, my hand still on the doorknob, and froze. Daniel was standing there, rain dripping from his coat, eyes wide but steady, like he was trying to read my soul. My mind scrambled. "No, this isn't happening. I just forgot something," I stammered, but my voice sounded hollow even to me. The apartment smelled faintly of wet earth from outside, the rain clinging to his hair and jacket, making him look both vulnerable and accusing. He stepped inside, shrugging off his coat, and the tension between us thickened, almost physical. "Forgot something?" His tone was neutral, but the sharpness in his eyes betrayed him. He noticed my phone on the table, screen glowing with unread messages. My pulse raced. "Who's Liam?" His words were quiet, but each syllable hit me like a punch I hadn't anticipated. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to crawl under the couch and erase the last few months of my life. The reality of my betrayal slammed into me like a wave. My lips opened, but no sound came out. The truth, all of it, was too heavy, and yet I could see it reflected in his face. Disbelief, heartbreak, confusion. He reached for the phone. I lunged slightly, desperate. "It's not what you think." I gasped. My voice cracked, betraying the lies I had told myself, the justifications I had repeated in the quiet of our bedroom. But the look on his face, his jaw tight, eyes glistening, told me he already knew more than I could admit. "You were going to end it," he said slowly, almost to himself, the weight of betrayal in his tone. "And yet here you are." He let the silence stretch between us, long and suffocating. My mind raced, imagining the confrontation, the questions, the anger. How could I explain the longing, the loneliness, the mistakes? How could words fix what my actions had already shattered? And then I saw it, Liam's last message, still blinking on the screen. "I can't wait." My heart sank. Daniel's gaze flicked to the phone, then back to me, and in that moment I realized he hadn't just walked in on my secret. He had witnessed it. The silence was deafening, and I knew that whatever came next, nothing would ever be the same. I sank onto the edge of the couch, feeling the weight of every choice crash down on me. Daniel didn't move at first, just stood there, rain still dripping from his coat, eyes locked on mine. The apartment felt smaller, suffocating. Every sound amplified. The hum of the fridge, the ticking of the wall clock, even my own ragged breathing. "Why?" His voice broke the silence, low and steady, carrying a pain that pierced me deeper than any guilt ever could. Was I not enough? Tears blurred my vision. I wanted to reach for him, to explain, to beg for forgiveness. But the words felt empty. I felt lost. I whispered, the admission tasting like ash. I didn't know how to fix us. And then he was there, and I was weak. Daniel shook his head slowly, disbelief and heartbreak mixing in every movement. Weak or selfish? His voice cracked now, raw and human, like the dam holding his emotions had finally broken. You made me a stranger in my own home. You let him, he gestured vaguely toward the phone, replace me, even if only for a moment. I couldn't answer. The truth hurt too much to speak. My fingers trembled over the phone, and in a sudden impulsive act, I deleted Liam's messages. It was symbolic, meaningless in the grand scheme, but it was all I could do. Daniel walked toward me slowly, each step deliberate. I flinched, fearing anger, shouting, maybe even the end of everything. But instead, he sat beside me, far enough to keep the distance, close enough that I could feel his presence. I don't know if we can fix this, he said softly, voice trembling. But I need to understand why. And you need to decide who you are, who we are, before it's too late. The room was quiet except for our breathing, the tension stretching between us like an invisible wall. I realized then that the affair, the betrayal, the guilt, it wasn't just about Liam. It was about the cracks in us that I had ignored, the quiet despair I had tried to mask with someone else's attention. And now, those cracks were bare, unavoidable, painful. I reached for his hand, hesitated, then held it. Not a solution, not forgiveness, but a start. And in that small, trembling gesture, I understood something essential. Love isn't perfect. It's messy. It's terrifying. But it's also human. If you've ever faced heartbreak, betrayal, or hard truths in love, share your thoughts below. Hit subscribe if you want more stories that hit you right in the heart. Because sometimes real life is stranger and more painful than fiction.